Everybody, I'm Ross Trelevin, and this is another Sprague Spotlight Series interview. Today, I'm with somebody very special from our Portland office. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, folks. Marcus Munoz,
So, Marcus, what do you do for Sprague?
regional account manager, basically bringing new business.
And when did you start with the organization?
June of 2000.
June of 2000. So, June of 2000, what was different in your life in June of 2000?
What was different? How about everything? I think I was 21 years old. Not even a twinkle of my eye of a kid or 4 kids now, or a wife, and just started right out of school. Needed somewhere to keep growing.
Wow. So, 4 kids later, a few things are different. Do you remember intro training at all?
Absolutely, Ross. Me, you,
So,
Bobby Andrews, Ratopia. That something like that never leaves the memory.
I still can't believe that was so long ago now, 20 years. Bob Andrews is around here at the corporate office all the time talking about the different glory days from the old building up on Fawcett. And he mentions you and he mentions our class from time to time. So
Yeah,
I can't believe that was so long ago.
I know, crazy.
So what were some of the moments that stick out to you in your Sprague career? Some of the good, some of the bad, maybe some of the ugly.
Oh boy. To me, some of the good, I definitely think about the accounts that we win. The time, sometimes you're getting after them for the second, third, fourth, fifth time. And when you realize that you are going to go ahead and become their provider, the difference in maybe what it is. The ugly, there's, hopefully not too much ugly, but there's times we're human, right? We've made mistakes, and then, bad, if you're going to win, you're going to lose, and you got to learn to handle that. So all part of it.
Now, when we're in sales meetings together, or really any meeting together, a lot of people look to you for some of your advice. I mean, obviously, with 20 years of experience under your belt, you have quite the experience. So, what are some of the things that you would help a new salesperson with, or a new account manager with at Sprague?
Well, I think anybody needs to get a general strategic point of pest control. For the most common things we deal with, good talking points, etc. And then I think the thing that took me a long time to understand, that I think you could shorten for anybody, is understanding relationships, understanding how one business is next to another, or has a sister location, anything like that, that those factors are factors that can work in your benefit.
Now, you're also known for some of your very regimented follow-up skills. What are some advice you would give in regards to following up with people?
Well, and I had to learn the hard way. When you want to follow up, you want to be constant, and you want to shine a light on a decision-making process. That's all. And it's probably born out of Ross, some times where decisions fall into the clouds. And that's, if you talk to salespeople, it's not losing that hurts your feelings the most. It's when you just don't get an answer. So some of the practices and the Tuesday and the Friday are just a way to continually shine a light and get an answer out of people.
What's an individual account that you brought to Sprague? I'm obviously not by name, but what is somebody you brought? What's something you're proud of bringing to the organization over the years?
Well, we do a lot of work in the food manufacturing industry. I can think of an organization that just in the last few years started from scratch, that we become the sole provider for. That I think that's a continuing relationship from a prior relationship that has really been beneficial both ways. I can think of other relationships that have come and gone, and when you indeed get them to come back to you, those are some fantastic moments. Things you remember. Yeah.
Now, pre-COVID, we used to have in-person meetings, lots of in-person meetings, at least once a month. And you were famous for one segment of the in-person meeting every month. What describe that segment to us?
The Marcus Minute. Geez Louise, 5, 6, 7 years ago, Jeff Miller decides that I need to put more effort forward during office meetings. And prior to that, office meetings were a little bit of a dry period for a salesperson, say the least.
That was the best political answer you've ever given.
Yeah, there could be a little bit of a, make sure you drink your coffee, stay with it. And then basically all I did, Ross, is I was given the platform without really much direction, and really lucky for me, I had just been in a trade show, and I had, you know how we do it, a lot of the food networks, we service a fair amount of the clients, and they won't come into your booth and tell you how much they love the individual technician. So I had a long list, and that's what I went with. I'm new, I'm in front of you, these are the deals I got in play, and these are all the people that love you. And it seemed to kind of take off. And it's kind of interesting to think how simple of a thing, and I know other people have told me they try to mimic the Marcus Minute. So.
There's only one original Marcus
Yeah,
Minute.
I don't know if I can get a franchise for that, but anyway.
Well, we have been known to send a person or two who are a little unsure about how to do their own version of the Marcus Minute down to watch yours. I think a couple things that come to mind when I've seen it is the fact that you are always longer than a minute, and absolutely engage with the person you're talking with. You just start left to right or right to left. I'm not entirely sure which way you start, but and you go through the room, and everyone gets recognized in some regard for how they're contributing to new sales.
Yeah, and that's a sign of the good times, when there's a lot of balls in the air and they impact a lot of people. And sometimes you get into some place, Ross, as I said earlier, because of the work we do at another place. Mm-hmm. And that's an opportunity to recognize the person who does the other account, that because of the work you did, we're getting into a new relationship over here. Mm-hmm. And that's it's a good way to be able to work the room. Yeah.
Now, you've been through some of the development programs we've had to offer over the years. Which ones can you remember off the top of your head, or which ones stick out to you as being something that really helped you in your career?
Oh, I think leadership development. I went through that 2-3 years ago. Just a terrible amount of how to communicate better. The idea of the stripes of the ball, I thought were fantastic. Because in real life, you use that at home as much as you'll use that in work. And the fact that two people can see the same thing from different viewpoints, and neither one is necessarily wrong or right. It's just the way it is. So.
That's awesome. Yeah, the different communication points in there are certainly helpful. How did that help you in your role?
It helped me understand, especially when I come across with customers and some of their issues they're going through, and rather than looking at it from my perspective on maybe why don't they do exactly what we asked them to do, or why do they look at us in a certain way? Well, understanding the stripes of the ball, understanding how it could work from another person's angle is a huge step for me.
So, a lot of people come and go to Sprague, hopefully more coming into the organization than leaving. If somebody was just starting today on their first day, what advice would you have for them?
Buckle up. No, I think that what advice I'd have is, it's a family-run business. Get to know your team, because they are going to be your family. And, it's something that's going to require the best of you, and you got to bring your A game. And if you're going to make a career out of something, do you really want to bring your C game? Is that something you want to grow up and do? I don't see that. You got to bring your A game, and you have to, and you should want to. So that's what.
And then 20 years later, you're talking to me over Zoom.
I know. 20 years later, we're on Zoom, and makes you wonder what the next 20 years are going to bring, right?
Oh my goodness. So what is the first thing you want to do post-COVID when this is all over?
Oh, I would think, honestly, because business has been moving, along, and the number one thing is we don't shake hands anymore. Nobody does. You do all your million things, and that's one thing you kind of miss of all things, is to shake somebody's hand. So that's what we'll get back to.
That'll be awesome. Yeah. And maybe an in-person Marcus Minute.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Are we doing a digital version of the Marcus Minute these days?
Yeah, yeah, and I find that I don't think I'm as good. Somehow the platform just doesn't quite ring.
It's hard to command a presence.
Yeah, it's hard. It's different because you're not in front of 25 people, and I don't, I'm sure you could press a button so you are, but
Well,
me and buttons don't work. So
usually you're snapping a piece of paper or something
yeah,
too, you're
yeah, yeah.
talking, getting
You
people's
get a chance to
attention.
roll around the room, do all your things. Yeah, you don't get that.
It's a riveting moment on Zoom. It loses a little bit of its muster.
You could try it, I guess. Yeah.
I guess, yeah, who knows? So, Marcus, congratulations on achieving 20 years at Sprague and all the amazing things you've accomplished. I still think, are you still currently the record holder for most new contract sales in one calendar year?
No. No,
No?
no. Jeff Levy beat me by like 18 grand last year.
18 grand?
18 grand. But we'll see. We'll see. There's a record that's been reached. Records are great. They make you strive to do better. And
Absolutely.
Records are made to fall. So we'll
Absolutely right. That just means that next year you'll have to, or this year maybe. I'm not sure where you guys are at. There will be another record to chase.
That's right. That's right.
Thanks for joining me today. Congratulations on 20 years. And I really, when I think back to when I started here and the fact that you started here at the same time, I think, in the conversation is the best rookie class of all time.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Hey, and someday we'll get t-shirts for that or something.
I think so. I think we'll have to.
Yeah, we'll have to. All right, man.
Thanks, Marcus.
Thanks, Ross.